How are you doing? Thank you for being part of our other video session, the business talk. And if to watch, but also listening to every single piece of word, if you can, sentences, and try to this video. So, the fix today we're gonna talk about what you are entitled um, when you become a citizen, a regular resident for a country. Now, it's been a lot of fix for a lot of people. It's been the treasury for a lot of people. It means a blessing for a lot of people. But for tax purpose, it means also something. And for tax purpose, it means you are entitled to be a citizen or a resident of a country because you're gonna respect the rules, and then the rules gonna provide you rights, right? So you have rules to follow, rules and regulation to follow, and then that provides you to have access to your right, your legal right, something nobody can touch because you deserve it, not just by title, because you do the right thing and you always pay your fair share back to the community, the county, the state, or the government or federal government. So the beauty of it is just like you have a lot of agency assigned to you, not necessarily at your back following you or watching what you're gonna do, but acting in your behalf sometime when it take to do so, like sending proceeding, but always by letting you know at a certain time what is happening and what you have to do regarding your duty and rights. So everything you're gonna benefit in life come out of a duty, and then that duty provides you a certain kind of right, you know. So I have the duty to pay taxes, and at the end I have the right to file for benefits if I'm struggling. I have the right to have medication support if I don't have enough money for a certain point based on insurance or government-based insurance. Or I'm entitled to some kind of support when that is needed. That what thing. What does mean? So I will start by the statement. The government don't need your gift. The government don't need your gift. I really mean it. You know, the government don't need your money. The government need their money. You know, so because by being a citizen or resident of a country, like I said, you're entitled to the respect of the law. So you have duties. And by Bill of Rights, things happened previously, and you inheritance is now your solution and also your problem. Because when Bill of Rights was passing for tax, so it was passed for the actual generation who signed it until any generation until the end of the world. So you and I are entitled to that duty to pay taxes. So the government don't need a gift from you. The government don't need a present from you. The government needs their money by Bill of Rights. And they need your tax. They need your fine. They need your fees. You know, here's what I'm trying to put, to try to repeat it all the time if I can. Fine, fee, and tax. That's what the government need. Is business for the government. It's business for the county. It's business for the state. That's what make things work. Firefighting, police, whatever, they use that kind of money because they don't do other kind of business. They handle parkings, you know, if federal or state rules, parking, all those kind of things drive money into the county for budgeting for the next year. So they're gonna put that on the right account to the Department of Treasury, and they're gonna go through Senate or any doors where they have to go to document the every update on budgeting if that happen to happen. So that the thing. So the government don't want you to show up on the street. I have money for you. This is your gift for your birthday. No, they don't need that. They need your fine. They need your fine, your tax, and also your fees. So now I'm gonna give you the difference. Tax are deduction you receive on certain activity you have to do at a certain place, and that certain place to have connection for water, connection for electricity, connection for internet, connection for telephone systems, a lot of things. But the system was built by counties or state-based planning, or there is a road they have to build, there is a pavement they have to put, sidewalk, a traffic light. You don't show up like I want to put my building here, whatever the property rental complex, whatever you're doing there. So I'm gonna build everything. I'm gonna drive electricity from the big production into your apartment. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to show up to buy. You have to put traffic light at this place, and then when it take me, I can put my couch in the middle of traffic light because I'm the one who built it. I can put my couch at anytime. So you gotta play with it. You gotta live with it. So if you try to hurt me, I'm gonna arrest you. Whatever I'm gonna do, it don't happen that way. So to avoid that, county used to do the basis on county planning, state-based planning. It can be federal-based planning. Those things will be made first before anybody to come in, and then you're gonna buy for the permit to build or the permit to have the land in your control, and so on. And even when it comes to land, some places across the country don't give you a land. They give you the right to put your structure at a certain land. But if your structure is amortized, if your structure is gone, so you don't own anything else because the land belongs to the county, the state, or whatever. So you gotta be aware of this kind of things. But let's go back to taxes. There is different kind of tax, There is property tax, you pay when you pay your rent, it's included somewhere when you pay your mortgage, there is sales tax, those are business conduct by counties, state, and business. It drives a lot of money, every day, every year, every month, or every year you pay for your rent, you have property tax in it. You pay for a mortgage, you have property tax in it. It give you real estate credit, and real estate credit just to say that you credible person, and you always pay your property tax on time, and you never fail for this amount of year. So there is a calculation based on the amount of year you have been paying seriously and with dedication your property tax. You give you property tax credit. Credit is always what's relate to you. It's belong to you. It's your credibility. It can be money, it can be refundable, it can be non-refundable, but it gives you some heights in the US economy. Now, don't get me wrong, there is multi-form of tax. Earned tax give you earned tax. You have earned tax credit out of earned income, and you have unearned income also driving tax out of dividend. Those kind of things drive taxes. Every time you do transaction on it, you have capital gain taxes. Capital gain on taxes. It's just like I bought something. It happened. You are someone who sell and resell things. You receive some Nintendo game or PlayStation based game or arcade. You can receive them for nothing sometime, and receive them for sometime a certain kind of amount, and tomorrow you want to resell them, and at the resale time you have a higher price, right? So I bought them $100 and I resell each of them because they are collection, because they are whole games, Nintendo collection. Someone want to collect it for 1,000. They have displays around the world to show them on their store, and they have, for instance, 900 stores. They want to display what was Nintendo or whatever game you have at the kind of museum they have, the kind of set of museum they have around the world. So when you purchase it at 100 by reselling at 1000, you have made a gain. So at that time, a capital gain apply. So you give tax to those kind of transaction, drive tax, and tax is county, state, let's say government money, because it's where we do the legislation, where the budget come from. It's have a door wide open to the Department of Treasury. The Department of Treasury work with the IRS as well, other kind of department. Every department making money have to report the money, have to report and send the money to the Department of Treasury. I was talking about DMV. You have fees. So I will explain what is fee. A fee is something you pay for a proceeding, government proceeding, company-based proceeding. Every charge they give you is not a fee to pay for your grocery at CVS or 7-Eleven. No, that's not the fee. That's a charge. You have been charged a certain amount for grocery store items. You have been charged. But these three things I'm talking about are also charges, but they are specific charges with specific names. So they are names: tax, fees, and fine. They are business for the county, the state, and also the federal government. So I was talking about fee. Fee is a kind of charge they give you when you have to go for a proceeding. It can be county-based proceeding, state-based proceeding, or government or federal government-based proceeding. You gotta pay for a certain amount to have the things processed. It's named a fine. Imagine I'm going, for instance, to file for a driver license, and you need to pay a driver license. What? A driver license fee. It's a charge for a proceeding. So I'm going to the courtroom because I have a complaint, and to file the complaint, you need to pay for charges. That charge is named fee. And every people are not necessarily entitled on fine or fee and taxes all the time, because if you make zero money, 0% off on taxes of zero amount money you have got, it's just zero. So there is no gain, there is nothing happening, and the percentage come back to zero, because 0.1000 million percentage is zero. So there is nothing you can do about it. It's zero at the beginning. Whatever you multiply by any number, you know the rules, no? It's multiplication. We have learned, all of us here, what it is to multiply a number by zero. So you have zero at the end. So, and then the fee, every people are not necessarily entitled to fee. Depend of situation, depend of time, depend of circumstances. Someone, for instance, who don't have a job, they don't have income, is probably most of the time entitled to what we name low-income family. And low-income family, just like I said, to be entitled low-income family, you have to be 125% under the federal level of poverty. So that means you're not even poor, you're even lower than being poor. So it's even critical to help those kind of people, because you have no income. If you have no income, that means you're low income family. And if you're low income family, that means your income is not high. If your income is not high, that means what is low. If it's low, that means you're poor. Because low income family is a sophisticated way to tell to someone you are poor. But saying that can offend people, So we use ways to explain that. And this is the truth. Just I'm telling you, that is another way to say poor, low income family. It's even worse than poor. So let's say poor and getting poor. So that is low income family. So he entitled you to don't pay fine. So you need to file a fee waiver, or you have some social security cases you can show up with to waive those funds. Because if you can't pay, we can't kill you to pay, you have to have ways to brave and to start planning for the next step or next stage in your life. So you have the fee waiver for everything, asking you to pay for fee. It's not totally automatic, because some people have the mindset, you can't charge people. But federal proceeding, county-based proceeding, state-based proceeding are written on paper. They don't change every day. At least they change, you have to go for an amendment. It's a long proceeding. You're still having time when they're working on it to have your fee, your all fees waived, before they pass the amendment. Sometimes it won't pass too, because it's common sense that someone who can pay, who don't have money, he just can't pay. It's a common sense. So there is nothing we can do about it. So some people, based on what kind of issue they face, within most of the time struggling or financial hardship. Let's say financial hardship. When someone is involved in financial hardship, you have a lot of things you can waive. Even there is a lot of payments, someone can't call you for it. At least if he call you to have a job, let's say you owe money to the bank, you're not a delinquent if you have a social security ongoing case or already approved. That's mean the low income family. So you just have to explain it, but they don't have to call you again after you make them aware of what is happening. At least if they call you, is to hire you, so they're gonna take the money out of the paycheck every month. So it's a big deal, because you have a company, I have kids, who are calling me for asking me for a debt, calling me to give me a job, I'm gonna pay your debt. It makes sense, right? So for me, that's how I behave with people. So you entitled to fee waiver because you can't pay. You are not even poor. You are worse than being poor. You low income family. At that time, you 125%. And I didn't say over, and the federal level of poverty. So you gotta have that in mind, that those kind of people can't pay for anything. Mostly they're entitled to welfare, and they're entitled to unemployment benefits sometime for a certain time, the time to find a job if you can, and then you gotta figure the off. So that's the reason why you can't pay for fee sometime based on some kind of circumstances. And also, we don't have to be told about some certain things when common sense can tell you that what is going, it's what is not fair. So the fair thing is to tell you, so you can't pay, so I will show someone you can have some money, you can have a job. But the nice thing, we have rule and regulation, we have laws, and everything's clear, and amendment, so we can deal with it. So you can go for welfare, door you open, you apply for welfare, you have some money to support your everyday expenses on food, and then you have the other part for medication you may have. But it's just like it happens some places, they give some hard time to use even Medicaid, but mostly they outlaws, because at that time they going on rebellion. More than a rebellion, they're criminal, because if you can't pay, there is nothing you can do about it. You have Medicare, you have to do with it. And you want to go to school, you have financial aid after filing for a further application within FAFSA. You have a lot more things you could be discovering if you're still watching this video out here. And if also you have that ease to go on federal based website to learn about what is passing as law or Bill of Rights every day for you to be successful. Reason why I say it, in the West, everything are made for you, whatever you're poor or rich, to make it. But you have to follow the proceeding. But sometimes it's not you at the other side of the proceeding who have to handle the paper. People are wicked, people lies, people are stupid, people are criminal, so everything can happen. Whatever you have done the right thing, So that's just the sad part of it. The other side, The other side also have to be willing to grant the great thing for the economy. Reason why it makes sense to me to say we need at some point to make America great again, right? Because it's not that great to fake people IDs, it's not that great to fake people proceeding, it's not that great to even do obstruction to a normal, regular employment or hiring process. It's a nonsense. But it happened for a lot of time, and you can do investigation if you can, but I don't see someone after having welfare and employment benefits to don't have the next job. They have skills. So sometimes there's obstruction, sometimes there's wickedness, there's lies on the other side. And then what we have numbers, inflation, we have numbers, recession, we have the Fed, you have to fight to have the interest rate high to try to save the most part of the economy. They did the right thing, they keep on doing the right thing. After that, they have been rising 8 trillion. But we have a deficit of 5 trillion. The last time I heard it, last year, 5 trillion COVID-19 spending. That just COVID-19, not everyday spending for the whole thing. All government budget, county base, everything state, it could be reaching 20 trillion, But the Fed, by using monetary policy, following the right procedure, they found way to rise until 8 trillion. It's a good thing, but it's not everything, because we keep living, we keep on spending, we keep on, creating a new planning. Because when you call Senate, the whole Senate, to come to discuss about a certain matter, they don't come free. It's paid. They have to eat. They have to, drink. Everything is expense. It's not free. So, reason why after passing the Bill of Rights, it's mandatory. It's our duty to respect them. And if you are the other side doing the proceeding, don't fake things, because we need the right card at the right zip code. We need the right stimulus check at the right zip code to have the right effect, because the economies work that way. You can't say that I want a tree at this address, I go through the tree at the opposite and waiting for the tree to happen at the right address. It won't happen. It's common sense. At least some magic things. But even magic is even worse. Why you rather use your energy to do magic? I don't know if it's blood-based magic, black magic, red, I don't know. You use some kind of fuel to go just put the seed at the right address. It's not hard. You take the seed, go to the wrong address, energy. You want to do a formula magic to move it from that wrong address to the right one. It's nonsense. I don't know what fuel you use. It's 3 times the same thing. Yes, so there is sometimes based on your life issues, financial hardship, you're not entitled on fee. You have to go for a fee waiver proceeding. So just the time to furnish some document, because you 125 under the federal level of poverty. You're not at the level of poverty, you're under. So at that time, to be at the level of poverty, you have to file for welfare. You can have some decent amount of money to make a living, to hit, not a living. You don't have housing most of the time because it won't happen. It's actually federal based, because there is SNAP for food, which is a federal benefit. It's not state based. Medicare is a state based benefit. It changes from state to state. So that's why I have to have it for state to state. If you change state every day, just like me, I'm a federal agent, So because it's state based benefits, so it's 281 for one person. So if you have more person, how to multiply numbers. It's not really that hard. It's basic mathematics. So for fun, for fees, we're done. Now let's go for the other charge within fine. So a fine, it's a problem you are made to people, or a problem you made to yourself. You end up on the right row, so you get a fine. You have an accident, you have to pay for fine. Sometimes you have fine and fees, because sometimes you want to complain about what happened. You want to have a motion you want to have some debate, you want to have some court-based procedure, the court-based cost fine. But when you fail to do your duty, you have the court-based fees. I'm sorry, not fine, fees. And when you get punished, you receive a charge named fine. Fine is a punishment. Fee is a regular charge for a proceeding. And fine is when you fail to do the right thing. So I'm driving. I'm not disabled. I'm going to park my car at the disabled section. I'm going to have a fine. It's just simple things. You have a $250 fine most of the time, but the maximum I have reached for disabled is 1,000 fine. So you go to the right, you park your car at the disabled side, you have a 1,000 fine. You go do some loitering and you get caught after proceeding, you have fine to pay. So fine is a punishment. It's not to tell you that I'm fine, you are fine, so everything are fine. No, it doesn't mean that. It means you are paying a penalty. So this is a joke someone said, so I'm now a fine man, so everything's okay now, so all things are okay, we're on. So I know fine and fine look the same thing, but if everything is fine or not fine in your life, you don't need someone to tell you that, You don't need me, you don't need the police, you don't need anybody to tell you that things are fine in your life. It's your life, right? And that fine I'm talking about, don't forget and don't get me wrong, is not to tell you what happened in your life. It's a penalty. Fine, it's a penalty. Get out of that joke. Fine, it's a penalty you pay after doing the wrong thing, or let's say after failing to do the right thing, because I like using the word right rather than wrong. So to sum up the whole thing, the whole money goes to one single place, the Department of Treasury. The Department of Treasury receives that all money to put at the disposal of any bill of right we may have. But for fees, I will add more things. There's driver license fees, there's shipping fees. You see, there's big containers actually on waiting on high sea, I don't know, somewhere to come in US, and those other one going to other country from US, they pay every day fees, shipping fees, transit shipping fees. It's a lot of money, and that money with your taxes, sales tax, property tax, how you name that, capital gain tax, or those all things come all together, a lot of money at one single place for federal proceeding, for federal government proceeding, bill of right, to pass bill of right, because to our welfare is not like by pleasure they give you welfare. It's a calculation based on average income per zip code, and they set the amount of 281. It's not by pleasure, because if it was by pleasure, it will be a different number, to be honest. And probably if I don't like you, you're gonna have $1 per month. But it don't happen that way. Whether I like you or not, it have to be the right number, because we do that for the economy, not for the appreciation I have about someone I don't like or not. Those who have been signing those bids have people they like. They even have people they hate. They even have people they don't like, but they have those benefits. It's not what you think, it's not what you believe for someone, because to apply, it's not what you think, what you believe have to apply to someone who is eligible to a certain kind of things. Whatever you think, it doesn't matter. The Bill of Rights is there. You are secondary. Sometimes not secondary. You have nothing to do with it, because the Bill of Rights is clear. I follow the Bill of Rights. You can go hang out elsewhere. That's how it works. Because if I don't, I'm gonna lose my paycheck. I like my paycheck every month. I have kids. I don't know. You have kids to send to school. You have yourself. You have to hit with them. They are growing. is a luxury you can't afford to lose your paycheck. So bill of right matter, your word is out. Just like I said, it's not about what people think, it's about what people can prove in the court of law. No, you can think about everything. You can have an imagination about it, but what can you prove on court of law or on courtroom is what matters. What you think is just your business. We think about a lot of. I have people I hate me too, I have people I don't like too. But if you show up at the door when I have to serve you for a certain kind of proceeding and you're eligible for it, I don't care. I'm gonna give you what you have to receive, and outside you and me, we're gonna fight after I finish my job. That's how it works. So I'm gonna wish you to have a nice, wonderful day. My name is Ray Herman Ngosoliwa, U.S. Federal Tax Professional and Life Coach for Tax Advices. Have a nice and wonderful day. God bless you.